Alright, so I'm going to take a video. I installed this clam lock or bar lock, whatever you want to call it, on the door. And I didn't really see a lot of info on YouTube about it. So I just wanted to share my experience so hopefully someone could get better help than I did. So, like I said, I installed this 36-inch bar lock. One of the first things I want to tell everyone is when you're buying online, I bought mine from eTrailer the first time and I returned it. And I ended up going to dogboxparts.com to buy this one. First thing you want to look at is the angle here. The first one I bought had the hinge flat with this piece here, no punch out. And what that did was when the door would close, this bar was too close to the door where the handle would sit out here and it wouldn't lock. So I realized that that's not for me. And I did some research and I don't know where those straight ones go. I don't know what trailer would ever use them, but they did. So first thing is look at the punch out. Now I'll show you the factory. The factory ones have the punch out as well. So going back to this, the second thing I learned, when you are installing this lock, it's very temptatious to put the hinge all the way against this metal. And when you do that, same thing happens. This bar doesn't push the door down tight enough. And the issue I ran into was when I do finally lock it, it's pulling so hard that it's just pulling everything, all the bolts and everything out this way. It was just too tight. So what you have to do is recess the bar to sit on the hinge, sit on the door frame, and allow just the bar to come across the door. And it's gonna hold it just as tight. As you can see, it holds it just a little bit. I think they're designed to really sit in this flange here, but it's just not possible. I've tried so many ways and it's not gonna punch out. So that's the second thing. As far as installing it by yourself, the best thing to do is I just took my knee and I held one hinge, held the other, and marked the first hole, and then marked the second hole, drilled them out, put the bolts in first so it's sitting there. Then I tightened those two bolts to find out where the final holes are going to be, and then just drilled the last four. And then next thing I messed up on that you should do differently. I was standing up here looking down and it looked good, but when you go straight, make sure that this bracket is tall enough to where it sits perfectly straight. I guess that's perfectly straight, and then mine would go down there. Once you put this on there, it's gonna hold the door no matter what. It makes no difference, but cosmetically speaking, that's what you want to do. Second thing, one thing I'm gonna do differently pretty soon actually is I would get a piece of flat bar steel to put across here with the holes so that no matter what, these washers are going to be sucking inside. And putting a piece of steel there would really soften the blow in terms of the door not pulling all the way through. So I think that's big. Get a piece of flat bar steel, and same thing in here. Get a piece of flat bar steel to put in there and just really secure it. I mean, this is, when I shake this, the whole trailer shakes. It's not going anywhere. I'm just saying that's probably a smart thing to do. Other than that, that's really it. It was super simple. It took me about 20 minutes to install. But dogparts.com is where I bought this one. Shout out to them. They had a good product. Locked it up. And then I guess the final thing I'd say that I thought of and I did was I don't know if you can see it going out there, but I used silicone around all the hinges except for the bottom, just so that if water does get in, it could leak out. I did that just so that water doesn't eventually seep in the walls and start rotting things out. So I'd buy a little thing of silicone. Other than that, super easy to install. I just wanted to show you so you have an idea of what to look out for.